And I guess as we were just talking about the moon there a second, I'll talk into some of the themes that this full moon, not new moon, is bringing in. And as we enter this full moon, we're entering also the start of eclipse season. So often a really good time to lean into a lot of rest due to its nature of bringing in the shadow side quite heavily. The shadow side being that part of ourselves that we often choose to push to one side or not look at because perhaps we had some type of shame or bad conditioning around. And today's full moon is in Libra, and it has a lot of connection to our connection. Actually, the word connection is the one that came through a lot as I was reading and meditating into it, and how we feel right now within our connections in our life, both with family, with friends, with loved ones. And it has this real sense around how interdependent can we be, how codependent are we, how dependent are we, and how we can integrate interdependence more into our relationships. So we'll move into a short yin practice today based around that theme of connection, and then we'll move into a little journaling at the end for anyone that wants to stay for that. So if you're not set up already, just grab yourself your props. I've got two little bolsters and a big one today. Maybe you want to dim your lights or get yourself comfy, ready to practice. I'll just give you all a couple minutes to do that. And we'll start seated today. So just finding yourself the most comfortable place to be seated. Sometimes it's nice to have something behind the back just so that you can get that support. And once you get there, just before you close your eyes down, just taking a couple moments to scan your eyes around your space. Seeing if you can slow your eyes down and take in as much of the room that you're in. Perhaps pausing and naming some of the things that you can see as you look around. And then beginning to bring that looking around to a pause. Noting for yourself with your eyes open where your attention is within the body or outside of the body if it's not quite with the body. And then in your own time, we'll close the eyes down and just notice that subtle shift that happens when you shift your awareness from that outward connection with the space to that inward connection with self. You need to, a couple times, you can blink the eyes open and close them down again, just to notice already the subtlety in sensation shift that happens as you change your awareness to the connection outwardly to inwardly. And once those eyes have fallen closed, we'll take a moment to just tune into where your center feels as though it is today. And we'll just place a hand over that central point of the body. Taking a moment to take a breath into that center point, using your exhale through the mouth, sigh and release. Nudging the body to arrive into this evening. With each inhale, calling back in any parts of self that are still dancing around within the day that's just been. And with every exhale, calling them back into your center, arriving into the here and now. Noticing as you land into your body in this present moment, any sensations, any emotions, any thoughts that are also arriving with you here. And as we bring our full awareness to our hand into our center, we're just going to start to now bring our awareness out towards the sides of the body. So as you breathe in, seeing energy moving from your center out towards the shoulders, the ears, the collarbones, the sides of the body, filling up into this horizontal plane. And exhaling, seeing that coming back into center. Inhaling, feeling yourself expanding out towards the sides. Exhaling, drawing your energy back in towards your center. Inhaling, filling up outwardly towards the sides of your body, now out into the space either side of you. Exhaling, drawing that back in towards your center. And with your next one, perhaps you'd like to spread your arms out wide, stretch the arms out wide with your inhale. And just feeling into this felt sense of your relational space here. This space where we keep people out or let people in. So as we take our next few breaths, with our arms, with our breath, we're going to just sense into that relational space, perhaps breathing in, reaching the arms out to the sides, sensing that sphere of energy around you. Exhaling, bringing the arms back in towards your center. Placing the hands into your center to land at the bottom of your exhale. Breathing in, reaching the arms out. Exhaling, drawing them in. And we'll just stay here for a couple of breaths, sensing into that relational space. You can play with reaching the arms up or down or to the sides, perhaps bringing in a little twist as well. And noticing as you do this, does it feel more safe to be out in this relational space, or does it feel more safe to be in towards self with self, keeping people out, letting people in? Over your next couple breaths whilst doing this, we'll round off just by placing this bubble around us. So as you inhale, imagining a bubble surrounding you in this relational space here, just for today's practice. Exhaling, checking in with self in the center of that bubble. And just pausing in the energy of that. And with this awareness of that relational space, how we can let people in, keep people out, and draw lines of connection between the both. We'll move into our first posture. And we're just going to come with our bolster in between the knees, opening the knees up wide, sitting the hips back onto the heel. And we'll just start by placing our hands out in front of us, finding length through the spine from the tailbone all the way up to the crown. And we'll take a breath into the length of our spine here. And as you exhale, slowly starting with the navel to begin with, to peel the body down onto that bolster, sensing into the connection of your front body as you gently bring yourself down into your child's pose. Once you reach with full front body into the bolster, taking a moment to just witness the connection of the front of your heart space into that support. And through the connection of our breath, we're going to gently breathe into the front of the body. And with every exhale, see if you can soften the body into the support of that bolster. Breathing in, sensing into connection within self with breath, connection into bolster with support. With every exhale, softening, letting go. Nudging the body into release, into rest. And we'll stay here for 5 to 8 breaths, just staying with that intention of being in the interdependence of breath and support. Breathing into the front of that heart space, exhaling, unwinding, resting, being. And if your head is to one side with your next inhale, just reach your fingertips forward, spread them long, reach through the crown of your head with the inhale, and as you exhale, just switching that head over to the other side. And softening as you meet the front body into bolster. Seeing if you can tune into that connection with breath through the front body. Exhaling, softening, releasing with the exhale. Gently in your own time over your next couple of breaths, we'll start to bring ourselves back up to kneeling, using the connection of your hands into the ground as you bring yourself up to upright, keeping the eyes closed and just taking a breath into your length here again. Noticing any subtle shifts in sensation. And then bringing that big bolster out to one side, we're going to come up onto all fours. And then gently roll ourselves down onto the belly. And you can do this in almost like a spinal ripple. So we're tucking the tailbone under. We're bringing the front of the pelvis down to the ground first, and then rolling through the front side of the body to bring our chest down, and sliding your elbows to stack underneath your shoulders here. Moving into our Sphinx pose. So taking a pause just to check in with the lower spine as you come into this, seeing if you need to perhaps lengthen a little bit more through the crown of the head, pressing into the forearms, and then we're going to open up through the front of our heart space here. And although this is a slightly active place to begin with, I'm going to invite you to bring bolster or a cushion in front of your face, and we're going to just rest the forehead into that prop in front of us. Again, staying with the connection of breath into front side of the body here. Breathing in to be in connection with both self and the prop and the ground. And as you exhale, just noticing how codependent, dependent, or interdependent you can be within this posture with breath, with ground. With every exhale, softening into that support of other. And you stay within the breath and the silence of this practice with each posture, just noticing anything that's running through the mind and seeing if that can just sit alongside for right now, bringing yourself back to the breath, to drop yourself back into the here and now. Breathing in, we'll gently press into the forearms, lift the head. We're going to flip our right palm to face upwards towards the ceiling. Bring our right fingertips towards our left elbow. And then we're going to slide the fingertips underneath that left arm. And you can either bring your head into that cushion that was put in front of you, or you can place the head down into the ground, making sure that you're staying with the most comfortable edge within your posture here. So taking all of the mini micro adjustments that you need in order to come into a space of which you can be with the posture and breathe. So as you take your next couple breaths, we'll breathe into that arm that is in connection with the ground, breathing into both the connection of the arm into the floor, but also the space between the back shoulder blades here. Starting to expand our breath now into also the back side of the body. As always, with every exhale, inviting the body to rest, unwind, and be softening into that support of the ground beneath. Seeing how much you can allow your body to be in that support, in that holding, in that depending of the ground beneath. And 3 more breaths here. Breathing into that back body, inhaling. Using your sigh, exhale, release. 2 more. And with your final exhale, inviting you to continue rolling into the right side of the body here, coming into a fetal position. And just taking a couple breaths in this rested place to allow the body to shift, to allow your energy to return back to your center. We take all of that onto our other side. So in order to bring yourself back into that Sphinx pose, just placing your left hand into the ground, sending the legs long out to the back of your mat, and then gently rolling over onto the front side of your body again. Bringing the right arm down into the ground too. And placing that forehead down into that prop in front of you again, just for 3 breaths here. Noticing any change from when we first came into this posture to now, whether that be within the body, within the mind, within your energy. And then gently bringing some engagement into the forearms here. We're going to flip our left palm up to the ceiling this time, bring our left fingertips over to the right elbow, and start to bring that left arm straight out towards the side. Again, placing your head either into the prop in front of you, or bringing yourself all the way down to the ground, finding which place is most comfortable for you to work with the edge of that stretch into the shoulders. And again, as you start to bring your awareness into the connection of this posture here, first noticing the back side of that arm into the ground. And then inviting your breath into that space between your shoulder blades, breathing into the back side of the body. Exhaling using your sigh through the mouth wherever you need. Noticing if there's still any parts of you that are outside of this space, outside of where you are in the here and now. And just inviting yourself with each breath to come back into the connection of this moment of your body into your mat. Connecting into the here and now through your breath, through your sensation. We'll take 3 more intentional breaths together here into this left side, breathing into that back body with the inhale, exhaling, letting go. And with that last breath, inhaling, exhaling, continuing to roll into the left side of your body, coming back into another fetal position here. And taking a moment in this fetal position to just let your body land and arrive back into its center. Thoughts, sensation that have shifted and arrived into this moment of rest with you. And then from here, we're going to gently continue rolling onto our backs, bringing our knees up into our chest, hugging the arms around the knees, and just gently bringing in some rocking side to side. Taking some breaths into your center here. With every exhale, dropping your body into the ground beneath you. And then before we come into our final resting posture, we're going to just breathe and bring our legs and arms out into a big starfish shape here. Bring them to that relaxed face again. And then as you exhale, roll the arms and the legs back into center, hugging the arms back around again. Hugging everything back in. Breathing in, stretching the arms, the legs out long. Exhaling, everything back into center. One more time, breathing in, stretching the arms and legs out long. And this time, keeping your connection of your body into the ground, arms and legs out long, just letting the body soften back in towards its center. Bringing yourself into your final resting Shavasana pose here. So if you need to grab any blankets, any pillows, just feel free to do so in order to come into the most rested place you can come to. And as you land into this final pose with the back side of your body fully into the ground here now, just taking a moment to see if you can take a scan through your body and invite any parts of the body that are still holding with every exhale to just soften into that support of the bed, of the ground, of the sofa beneath you. Allowing there to be an interdependence between you and that support beneath you and your breath. As you gently nudge your body into rest here, knowing that there's nothing to do, nor say, nor be. Simply allowing yourself now the next few moments to be in connection with this interdependence between breath, body, and the present moment. As we continue to be in this final posture, I want to bring in the awareness of the themes of this full moon for you again here, so that you can start to bring in some self-reflection of yourself within your own connections in your own life. noticing first for yourself, where in your connections within your relationships would you like to bring some more attention over this full moon time and moving into this eclipse season? That's noticing how you first feel within that spectrum of independence and codependence within those core relationships. And how you can start to integrate some more of this interdependence within your relational space. Knowing that this is a space that you can always dance within the in-between and invite in some more of the other, or keep out some more of the other whenever you need. And together we'll take just 3 more breaths to sense into our own body within this relational space here. Allowing yourself to fully soak up these last couple moments of your rest practice. And then really slowly, the key word slowly here, in your own time, you're going to journey from lying down up to seated, seeing if you can keep those eyes closed as you do so. Moving as slowly as you can to stay in connection with your own body and your own energy. Very gently bringing yourself back up to find the length of your spine within your seat. Again, taking a breath out into that relational space with the arms, and with the exhale, bringing your hands back in to connect into your center. And just taking a moment to be within your own energy here. And I invite you to drop your head down towards your own body, bringing the chin in towards the chest. And as slowly as you did to come up to seated, taking your time to blink your eyes open and start to bring in that space into your awareness again. And to round off today, I have a couple journaling prompts for you based around this theme. So just grabbing yourself something perhaps that you can use to reflect and write with. And the first prompt is just noticing for yourself if there's anything that needs to shift and change within your relationships, within your life right now. Using words, images, whatever feels good to flow through you into this reflection session. Allowing this to be a space of non-judgment, and rather tuning into that connection with yourself and the energy of this time within this full moon to be a checkpoint of checking in with these themes and these relationships in your life. And perhaps you're still writing, but we'll flow into this next prompt. And this next prompt is just allowing you to check in with that scale of codependence and independence. And just taking a moment to reflect for yourself, where on that scale of codependence and independence do I currently sit within all of my different relationships, whether that be in partnership, in friendship, in work relationships, just noticing and taking note for yourself here. Where on that scale do I currently act or sit within? Again, neither one wrong nor right, just taking a moment to reflect. And my final prompt for today is for us to write down and reflect on where are the opportunities of more interdependence within my relationships. So just taking a moment of looking at both your reflections of your relationships and the changes that you feel you'd like, where you currently sit with that dependency, and how you could perhaps invite in more interdependency within all of these things. So what are the opportunities of interdependence here? Often this can sometimes look like leaning into more time alone, more time with others, more time with one type of other rather than another, so that the whole landscape of relating to other can start to work interdependently. So for myself, I definitely feel as though within my work area, this theme of co-creation keeps coming up, and how the invitation of other can come into this space more. And perhaps for yourself, you're also reflecting on where you can lean into perhaps more one type of relationship than another, if there currently feels like an imbalance in some way. So I'm going to take a moment to round off the recording here for those that have joined via the recording. And I invite those that are watching on the replay to move gently into the rest of your evening and morning, wherever you may be.